You think the world owes you something? You think if you scream loud enough, someone will come running? Let me tell you something, no one's coming. Not now, not ever. You've been on your own from the start. And that's not going to change. People don't care about your struggles, not really. They'll throw you scraps of sympathy just to ease their own guilt, but when it matters, they'll step over your broken body to save their own skin. That's the truth. The sooner you accept it, the stronger you'll become. But strength? Real strength? It doesn't come from words, it doesn't come from promises. Strength comes from pain, the kind of pain that rips you apart and leaves you clawing at the walls, begging for it to stop. That's where you find out who you really are, not when things are easy, but when you're on your knees, spitting blood, swallowing your pride, and deciding whether you're going to fight or be just another casualty. You think people respect weakness? They don't. They despise it. They might not say it to your face, but they'll look at your struggle and think, better him than me, they'll pity you. Sure. But pity? Pity is poison. It doesn't help you, it weakens you. It makes you dependent, easy to control. And that's exactly what they want. But you don't need their pity. You don't need their scraps. You need to stand up, spit in their faces, and take what's yours. Boss, let's talk about it. It's not just about burying the people you love. It's about losing pieces of yourself along the way, your innocence, your trust, your hope. Every betrayal, every abandonment takes something from you. And if you're not careful, you'll wake up one day and realize there's nothing left of who you used to be. That's why you've got to fight. Not for them, for you. People think they've got time. That's the biggest lie of all. They think they can waste it, wait for the perfect moment. But time doesn't wait. One day you're standing tall, and the next you're 6 feet under. The world won't stop spinning for you. It won't mourn the dreams you left undone. By the time they realize you were the one holding it all together, it'll be too late. But for now, you've got a choice to make. You can sit here, feeling sorry for yourself, waiting for someone to save you. Or you can get up, wipe the blood off your face, and fight. Fight for your life. Fight for your future. Fight for the respect you deserve. Don't do it for them. Don't do it to prove them wrong. Do it for yourself. Because when the dust settles and it's all said and done, you're the one who has to live with the choices you make. People will hate you for it. They'll call you selfish, ruthless, a bastard. Let them. Their opinions don't matter. What matters is that you survive. What matters is that you keep moving forward, no matter how many times life knocks you down. Because survival is its own kind of victory. Life isn't going to hand you what you want. You've got to take it. Steal it if you have to. And if someone tries to stop you, you do what needs to be done. Because in the end, it's not about being liked or loved. It's about surviving, winning. And you can't win if you're too afraid to fight. Think life is going to wait for you? Think it's going to give you time to get your head on straight? It won't. Life is relentless, a storm that doesn't stop. You either learn to weather it or you drown. Simple as that. You see these scars? Every single one tells a story, not of victory or glory, but of survival. Every cut, every bruise, every wound, each one is a lesson. A reminder that the world doesn't care about your pain. You either learn from it or it breaks you. And let me tell you something, broken people don't survive. Strength isn't born from winning. It's forged in loss, in failure, in betrayal. The people closest to you, they'll hurt you the most. Not because they want to, but because they can. Because you let them. Trust is the sharpest blade of all. Give it to the wrong person, and they'll cut you deeper than you thought possible. And when they do, when they leave you bleeding, don't you dare stay down. Don't you dare let them win. Stand up. Stand tall. Wipe the blood off your face and look them in the eye like it didn't even hurt. Because that's what terrifies them most. Not your pain, not your anger, but your refusal to quit. Life doesn't stop coming. There's always another battle, another war waiting for you. And that's fine, because every battle strips away the lies and illusions until all that's left is the truth. Do you know who you are? No, you don't. Not yet. You've been wearing a mask, pretending to be the person the world expects you to be. But that's not you. When the world tears that mask off, you'll see the truth. And it won't be pretty. It won't be what you want. But it'll be real. And in the end, that's all that matters. Stop waiting. Stop hoping for the perfect moment. There's no such thing. The only time that matters is now. Right now. You want to survive in this world? It's not about being the strongest or the smartest. It's about being relentless. The kind of person who gets knocked down 100 times but gets back up 101. The kind of person who doesn't stop until they've taken everything they've ever wanted and more. Don't do it for anyone else. Not your family. Not your friends. Not for some noble cause. Do it for you. Because at the end of the day, you're the one who has to live with yourself. You're the one who has to look in the mirror and face the person staring back. Stand up. Stop waiting for life to hand you something. It won't. Take every ounce of pain, every betrayal, every moment that tried to break you and use it. Let it burn so hot inside you that it turns you into something unstoppable. The people who make it, they didn't wait. They didn't ask for permission. They clawed. They fought. They bled for every inch. And that's what you're going to do. Rise. Fight. Take what's yours. And when the world doubts you, when it underestimates you, show them exactly who you are. You're not done yet. Not by a long shot. And when they realize what you've become, it'll be too late. You'll be long gone, standing on the ashes of everything they said you couldn't achieve. Because you're not just surviving, you're conquering. The world hasn't seen anything yet. That's exactly why you've got to keep going. No excuses, no blaming the world, your circumstances, or anyone else for where you are right now. The truth, no one cares. No one's coming to save you. No one's going to fix your life for you. If you want something, you fight for it. If you want respect, you earn it. If you want power, you take it. That's the way it works. That's the way it's always worked. And let me tell you something else. The moment you stop caring what people think, the moment you stop living for their approval, is the moment you become truly dangerous. When their opinions no longer shackle you, when their expectations can no longer hold you down, then, and only then, do you become unstoppable. You've got to understand this life is short, too short to waste on fear, doubt, or waiting for the perfect moment. That moment will never come. The only time you've got is right now. Waste it, and you'll regret it for the rest of your life. I know what regret feels like. I've lived with it every day since the war, since the choices I made, since the people I lost. But you don't have to. You can choose to fight. You can choose to rise. And when you do, when you finally stand up and take control of your life, they'll notice. Oh, they'll notice. The people who doubted you, who dismissed you, will start to see you in a different light. But by then, it won't matter. Because you won't need their approval or their validation. You'll have something far more valuable: self-respect. The kind that comes from knowing you fought, knowing you didn't quit, knowing you earned your place in this world. Make no mistake, they'll only understand when it's too late. When you've already won. When you've already left them behind. And that's fine. Let them catch up if they can. Let them regret underestimating you. You don't need their understanding, their apologies, or their explanations. All you need is to keep moving forward. because that's what life demands of you to keep going. So what's it going to be? Are you going to sit there, feeling sorry for yourself, waiting for life to hand you something it never will? Or are you going to stand up, look the world in the eye, and take what's yours? Because if you don't, someone else will. You think life owes you something? You think patience is a virtue, that waiting will bring you what you want? That hard work alone is enough? No. Life doesn't owe you anything except the chance to fight. And even that chance, you've got to take it. Waiting is a slow death, a coward's death. Life isn't a waiting room, it's a battlefield. And on a battlefield, you don't survive by sitting still and hoping for mercy. You survive by taking the fight to them. I've seen men die clutching their hopes and dreams, waiting for a sign, a miracle, some magical moment when everything becomes clear. But signs? Miracles? They don't come. You've got to make your own. You've got to rip what you need out of life's hands if you have to. But here's the truth, and it's going to hurt even when you fight, even when you give everything you've got. It still might not be enough. Life doesn't play fair. You could pour your blood, sweat, and soul into something, and it might still fall apart. That's reality. It's cruel. It's unrelenting. But you don't stop. You don't quit. Because quitting isn't an option. You think you're tired now? You think you've reached your limit? You haven't even scratched the surface of what you're capable of? Your body will scream. Your mind will beg you to stop. But you've got to keep pushing. Because the moment you give in, the moment you let the pain win, is the moment you lose everything. You're not here to exist. You're here to dominate, to leave a mark so deep, so unshakable, that even after you're gone, they'll still feel your presence. But that doesn't come easy. It doesn't come without sacrifice. You'll lose things, people, trust, maybe even parts of yourself. And that's the price you've got to be willing to pay. Because nothing worth having comes without a cost. So let me ask you, what are you willing to lose? What are you willing to sacrifice to get where you need to be? If your answer is anything less than everything, then you're not ready. But if you can look yourself in the eye and say you're willing to lose it all, your comfort, your safety, even your soul, then maybe, just maybe, you've got a chance. They'll laugh at you, mock your dreams, call you crazy, tell you it's impossible. That's how they hide their own fear, their own failures. Your ambition reminds them of everything they're too scared to chase. Let them laugh, let them mock. And when you've climbed higher than they ever thought possible, you look down at them and smile. Not out of kindness, not out of forgiveness, but out of satisfaction. Satisfaction that you didn't let their fear become your cage. But don't expect them to understand. They won't. Not until it's too late. Not until you've left them behind, standing in the ruins of their own mediocrity while you've built something unstoppable. And by then, their understanding won't matter. Their apologies, their admiration, it'll all be meaningless. Because you'll have already won. Here's the hardest truth: you've got to do this alone. Oh, they'll cheer for you at first, when it's easy, when it costs them nothing. But the moment your success starts to outshine them, the moment your ambition becomes a threat, they'll turn on you. Don't hate them for it. It's human nature. People fear what they can't control, what they can't understand. And a man like you, relentless, unyielding, that's the kind of man they'll never understand. Don't let their fear become yours. Don't let their doubts infect you. You've got to be stronger than them, stronger than their small minds and smaller ambitions. This world doesn't belong to the weak or the hesitant. It belongs to the bold, the ruthless, the ones willing to do whatever it takes. If you're not willing to be that person, step aside. Make room for someone who is. But if you are, if you're ready to rise, to fight, to bleed, then prove it. Not to them. Not to me. Prove it to yourself. Because at the end of the day, that's the only person who matters. So ask yourself, are you ready to be the man who takes what's his, who builds his destiny with his bare hands? Or are you going to let this world chew you up and spit you out like it's done to so many others before you? The choice is yours.